Is anybody sitting right there? Fantastic. Yeah, someone forgot their tripod. Someone is me. So I guess I'm holding it all day.
Okay, I'll make sure it works then. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, just for you? Or can you hear me? I'm trying, give me audio check. Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, check. Holla, holla, holla. This is for lip sync. Mic, check, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You were sleeping too? It started off. And then around 9:30 when we wrapped. Yeah, they broke off. And different, some went over here, some went over there. Things got crazy. It's heartening, that they messed up the city like that. Not only just Congress remain, but also development. It went down one way. It wasn't all the protests. Some showed up peacefully protest, and then some showed up and started crap. You can see the ones who were doing stuff were younger.
Yeah, I got plenty. What's on? I got plenty.
See y'all in person.
No,
I know, it's like, I know.
I've been giving away. What's up, boys? I called away and just I've been getting the vineyard stuff. And it was a company trying to sell it to the city. And I got connections and shipping and everything. And I got about maybe.
Put your mask on, Floyd.
I got maybe one.
What's up, brother? We doing the elbow? How do you do that without fogging your glasses?
Drop it down just a little bit. So before we just drop it down, yeah, put it back on top of it.
Your glasses not going
I tried. I don't.
I'm not breaking the sweat.
Y'all got jackets on.
You got the SMU trying to pull that elitist thing. Are you playing golf today?
I'm trying what? Right. Blow it.
What's that on my collar? What you doing? Dude, no one cares about me. I appreciate that, but no one's looking at me. They're all looking at this. You made it. You dressed up for us.
You going to the Red Bull today?
And people understand it's hard. When you do a director trying to do a movie, he got to get in the sequence and you the director. That's what the same time. And I've been
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me coming through the podium mic? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Are the podium mics working?
Microphone check, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm using the mult box now. Off the microphones, off the wireless, and on the mult box.
I know, and you can't see if I'm smiling at you, which I was.
How are you doing?
I'm the farthest north.
there. If I could have your attention, please. If I could have your attention. Chief Hall, she's about 5. She's in the building, so she's making her way upstairs. As soon as Chief Hall arrives, we'll start the press conference. Let me clean this down.
First time getting out, I was like, don't let her lie. I go, I got pictures where she was not attending the event. I go, she's been telling stories.
I just went on my golf cart. I ain't on no golf cart. Everybody breathing down my neck.
And see the creek. That's my first time ever going.
Okay, we want to thank everyone for coming on such short notice. Thank you for being here. We're going to start the press conference right away. Without further ado, we're going to have Mayor Eric Johnson. And then after Mayor Eric Johnson, of course, the Chief of Police, Renee Hall. And then we're going to have a few community leaders afterwards also that would like to say something. We want to thank our council members for being here as well. So without further ado, Mayor Johnson.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dallas today is hurting. Our city has been hit hard by COVID-19, emotionally, physically, and economically. We have people in need. I spent the morning at a couple of sites where we handed out milk and food to cars that were lined up literally around the block. In about 15 minutes or so, I'll be back at my old childhood church in West Dallas, eulogizing one of my favorite cousins and mourning with my own family. We can see the desperation and frustration mounting all around us in this city. But what makes our city special is what you've all heard me say at this very podium over and over again throughout this crisis, and that is that Dallas is a strong city and Dallas is a resilient city. We've been through extraordinarily painful times before. Just in the last few years, we've dealt with Ebola, the July 7th ambush, an incredibly destructive EF3 tornado that tore through the heart of our city. When we see lives and livelihoods upended in this city, our neighbors extend their hands and they ask how they can help. Yes, we acknowledge that Dallas, like any city, has its share of problems. But we have always been a community that talks openly about its issues. We're a city that works towards solutions to our problems. And we do that in this city by working together. Last night, we saw a very large, peaceful demonstration that reflected the Dallas that I know as a native son of this city. Those protests gave voice to the many people of color in this country who have long felt frustration and pain that I not only understand, but that I share. And I respect those folks who came out last night for stepping out and calling for justice in the memory of George Floyd. What happened to Mr. Floyd and others before him was brutal and unacceptable and met rightfully with widespread condemnation from police here and across the country. But we also, unfortunately, saw some reckless behavior from a small group of people whose agendas had nothing to do with human rights or civil rights. They exploited a collective cry for help for their own personal gain by looting. They chose to destroy things at a time when we should be building each other up. And we just can't allow that. Not in Dallas. We cannot allow people to destroy the livelihoods of others or threaten the safety of the very same people who we're asking to protect us in our time of need right now. Today, we expect more demonstrations, and we want them to do what they're supposed to do, which is to call attention to injustice. But to those who may be looking to take advantage of our community in these unprecedented difficult times, you need to stay at home. We will not tolerate selfish lawlessness in the city of Dallas. Dallas is better than that. Dallas deserves better than that. And we do not, have not, and never will bow to chaos or fear in this city. I'm proud to be a son of this city. I grew up in West Dallas and Oak Cliff, and I've dedicated my life to this city. We aren't perfect, but I love my country and I love my city, and it breaks my heart to see the pain that we're going through right now. We're going through a tremendous struggle in this city, the most significant struggle I've ever seen in my lifetime. But we will get through this by all of us working together and listening to each other. The pain that people are feeling right now is real. It's real. So show some empathy, show grace, show that same resilient spirit and commitment to problem solving that has made this city the only one I have ever wanted to call home. So I just want to say thank you for being here, and may God bless our great city and this great country. Chief Hall.
I'm not going to speak with a mask because I can't. I want to first acknowledge you for being here. Thank you for coming. Mr. Mayor, thank you for calling this press conference so that we can speak to you. City Council members, thank you for your support and all that you do to continue to grow this city and build partnerships. And I especially want to thank my boss, T.C. Broadnax, the city manager of this great city, who chose me to lead at such a time as this. And I stand here today before you heartbroken, disheartened, and every other emotion that you can even imagine. Because what we saw in Minneapolis by men who wear the same uniform that I wear is unacceptable. There's no excuse. It was murder, and it's intolerable. But what I will say is that it's not representative of every police officer in this country. There are 18,000 police departments in this country with over 800,000 men and women who wear a uniform. And that is not who we are. But I do want you to understand that we understand and stand with the Floyd family. Our hearts, our prayers go out to them, and we support them. And we support everyone who is angry about his death and many more. And we've even had them here in Dallas. But what I will say about the city of Dallas is that we're determined to get it right. I am surrounded right now with a group of great professionals, individuals who are committed to this city and who have allowed me to push a platform that builds partnerships and collaboration. We recently established an oversight board that allows our community to see into our police department, to be able to witness those investigations, make policy recommendations so that we can be a better city. And we applaud those who stand up and protest against police brutality, because we do too. And we stand with them. But last night, peaceful protests began, but that is not how it ends. And what I want you to be clear about with me today, so there is no ambiguity, this police department will not tolerate rogue vandalism. We will not tolerate tearing up our city. We will not tolerate tearing up our communities and bringing hurt, harm, or danger to individuals who are protesting, and definitely not the ones who are protecting the residents of this community. We love this community. We trust this community. We want a partnership, and we're going to continue to work alongside of everyone. Those who we've offended in the past, we acknowledge. We fix, we move forward. We work together to build a stronger Dallas, a stronger Texas, a stronger United States of America. But it does not happen by tearing up property and hurting people. And it will not be tolerated in the city of Dallas. We're committed to our community. We grieve with our community. We hurt alongside of our community. But the one thing that continues to make us great is that when we fall down as a community, we get back up together as a community, and we will continue that. Tonight, we have 2 separate protests scheduled. We will be out in full force, and we will enforce the laws of this city. We hope and pray that everyone who shows up has the same mindset that we all do, that there's time for change. It is truly time for change in law enforcement everywhere in this country, and it's happening through 21st century policing, through elected officials who support that and push that, and we're moving in that direction, and we will not be stopped by those who have a separate agenda. So again, God bless you, God keep you. We will be working overtime to ensure the safety of this community tonight and every night. Thank you so very much.
And now we will hear in this order from Dr. Sharon Patterson of the Hamilton Park United Methodist Church, and then Pastor Brian Carter of Concord Church, and Pastor Richie Butler of St. Paul United Methodist Church.
Good afternoon. My name is Reverend Dr. Sharon C. Patterson. I'm the senior pastor of the Hamilton Park United Methodist Church. I come today as a pastor. I also come today as a daughter of a policeman. And I do want to echo our chief. All police are not bad. There are some good ones out there, and we are praising God for the good ones. As I represent the Hamilton Park community today, I want to say the pain is real, and we feel the pain. To those who are angry and want to destroy, I want you to know there's another way. There is another way to get our point across, and that comes from collaboration and communication and coming together as one. I want to apologize for my casual appearance, but I spent the morning at the Mayor's Distribution Center where my church is serving milk. And just being there and seeing the races come together to make a difference, that's what Dallas is all about. So if you're angry today, we feel your pain, but there is another way, there is a better way. So resist any destruction. Let's not tear any part of Dallas down, but let's come up and build together all the races, which is what we do well here in Dallas. Thank you.
My name is Brian Carter, and I pastor the Concord Church here in Dallas, Texas. a lot of us are hurting because of the terrible tragedy that took place in Minneapolis. Our hearts are hurting. We're brokenhearted. We have so many emotions. On one side, we're angry, disappointed, frustrated, because even in Dallas, we understand that the Amber Geiger case is not that far removed. Or Tatiana Jefferson is not that far removed. And so it's a lot of pain that has been captured in this moment. And the protests are in the right space. I mean, it's important that the voices be heard. You've heard it over and over again. Often the protest is the voice for the unheard. And so our hope and our desires is that, yes, we need the protest to make sure that people understand that the murder of that gentleman was wrong, and we never want that to happen again. But we also understand that violence never answers or gets us the justice we deserve. And so we're praying, yes, let's protest, but also let's do it nonviolently. Whenever we begin to destroy our own city, it hinders us from getting the progress that we really need. The work of fighting for justice involves protest, but it also involves voting. It also involves serving on juries. It also involves supporting black-owned businesses. There's a long road ahead. We appreciate the city officials. We appreciate Chief Hall, as we've all been working together the last several years trying to make Dallas a better place. And so we believe we can do this, but we can't do this if we're not all headed in the same direction. Last night started out such a peaceful process. It was a beautiful spirit, beautiful atmosphere, as there was a peaceful movement to raise attention to a wrong issue. But then something happened last night that we don't want to happen again, because we are seeking justice, but we believe there's a pathway where justice can truly be served, both for his family, but also for all the future families. And so that is our heart. Let's work for justice. Let's address justice. Let's fight for justice, because the loss of his life should have never happened, and we never want another family to be in that place again. Thank you.
My name is Richie Butler. I'm the senior pastor of St. Paul United Methodist Church downtown, and also the founder of Project Unity, which has been in collaboration, partnership with Dallas Police Department for 6 years in efforts to bring our community together, because we know the continued struggle between law enforcement and our community. And so we're focused on making that a positive end. And I just want to say I'm frustrated as an individual. And as I literally watched a man die, that could have been my son, it could have been my brother, it could have been me. And so there's definitely a level of anger and frustration. And this is, we're on this treadmill of repeats. But all that said, it is incumbent upon us, especially those of us who are in a position to lead, to help bring along those who are extremely frustrated and angry, and provide a space and a place for them to articulate their anger and their frustration through protest. So I affirm that righteous indignation that we want to raise up, because I think that's going to call us all to accountability and to work together to make a difference. But we definitely want to deter and to instruct those interlopers that your efforts are going to be thwarted or are not welcomed as you seek to bring about chaos in a moment where we are calling for justice. And so the two cannot coexist. And so we want to, again, encourage those who are protesting to keep struggling on the streets and keep encouraging you, because that is a forum for that. And I also just want to remind us all that when you look around this group, there is diversity, north, south, east, west. There's black, white, Hispanic, everyone is represented. And I think at the end of the day, it's going to require every last one of us rolling up our sleeves, the faith community, the business community, public officials, civic, everyone working together, because we need to remember that what unites us is far greater than what divides us. Thank you.
And now we'll take a few questions. The chief is going to actually come to the podium and answer any questions that you might have, and then any of the other panels as well.
Chief, you mentioned there were 2 protests this evening. What is the second one?
The second one is it's a protest with vehicles, a drive-by protest. It is scheduled to be at the North Park Mall, and possibly the Galleria Mall.
And do you know what time?
4:30. Yes, ma'am. There was a peaceful protest, as we stated, and at some point, right around Griffith and Young, there was the protest came to a halt. Some of the individuals inside the crowd began throwing bricks, throwing bottles of water. They smashed the front windshield of a vehicle, flattened my tire for my SUV, as well as one of our SWAT tires for the SUV. And as I tried to defuse the situation, along with most of our officers, we were not successful. And to ensure that no one was further injured and no property was further injured, we made the decision to deploy tear gas to disperse the crowd. Any other questions? Thank you so very much.